Okay, who's into plein air painting? I'm Carol, welcome back to my studio. Today I'm going to show you how to make one of these super cool little travel journals out of a single full sheet of watercolor paper. They're really fun, handy, easy to throw in a bag. It's just a few easy steps. I have a downloadable PDF with diagrams and measurements that you can download below or on my website at theillustratedvagabond.com. If you follow along here, you'll be out sketching in your new journal in no time. Here is what's so cool about these things. So they have a little tie and they open up and then they fold out. So you can do these really long landscapey things, or you can just paint a single square. I like doing these little reveals where it's kind of like, is it a square painting or is it a big massive thing? Super fun. Okay, let's get started. The steps to this are, we're going to cut and fold this full sheet of paper. We're going to assemble our pages and our cover. We're going to sew a binding through it, make a little closure with embroidery floss, binding thread, hemp twine, whatever you want to use. We are going to tie a couple of knots to finish it off, and then you're going to fill it with your adventures. Alrighty, here we go. We've got our sheet of watercolor paper, 22 by 30. The first thing we're going to do is divide it into 4. So cut down the middle and then one cut down each side. You can do this a couple ways. You can use your scissors. You can use a normal straight edge, but I'm going to use this one with the scallops just to give it a more of a handmade look. So that's fun. Here we go. I'm going to fold this in half. Some would measure, but I will not. Now, to make it easy if you're going to rip it, it's a good idea to fold it a couple times. My fancy ripper. Okay, so we've ripped it down the middle. Now we're going to fold those again. So you're basically making 4 22-inch strips. That will be, theoretically, 7.5 inches wide each. Do that again. There we go. The role of the bone folder will be played by my scissors in this episode. This little scallop ripper is fun, but this works really just as well with the straight edge, so either way, or scissors. Okay, so now we've got our 4 pieces. What is going to happen? I kind of tap them. If there's one that's a little taller, like just a hair taller, and there usually is, I save that for my cover. So this is going to be, if you've got the little PDF, this is B, that's your cover. These ones are going to be your inside pages. So now we're going to want to divide this into 3. So I'm going to measure from the outsides. This paper is 22, so 7 1/3. And the other side, 7 1/3. Here's my folding marks. Now, I'm going to fold this in right there. Fold our other flap on our little pencil mark. A little pinch like that. Line them up straight. And use this guy again. 1. Pinch it on the pencil mark. 2 and 3. So that's our cut and folding. Now we are going to assemble. So I've got 3 of these. This is going to be my centerfold of my book. So I've got a page sticking out to the left, a page sticking out to the right, another one sticking out to the left. But this is my center. I'm going to take my cover page, fold it in half as well, and all of this is going to line up with this line as the center. So there are our 3 pages, 3 panels each inside of our cover. Now what we want to do is make our holes for the binding. If you downloaded the PDF, you'll have a little template. You can cut this out, put it in the middle of your book, and it shows you exactly where to make the holes. I'm just going to measure. I need 6 holes. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that leaves me with 2.5 inches. So I'm going to go 1.25 inches up. High math here. I'm going to mark my center line with some dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 every inch. Now, it's nice to have something soft to do this on. So I am going to grab my cutting mat. You can use a magazine, towel, whatever. If you have an awl, this is a good time to use it because you can push it through all the pages at once. I do not, so I'm going to use my needle and I'm going to carefully poke through all of these pages at once. Here we go. So kind of fold it first, make sure they're all jammed in there nice and tight together, because if you just did this one sheet at a time, your holes might not be in the perfect spot. So I like to hold it all together and then poke it through. Wiggle it around a bit so that I know my needle's going to glide through there once I've got the embroidery floss on. Poke it through. 3, 4, 5, and there we go. So I've got my holes. Now I am ready to stitch. So I'm going to take my embroidery floss. It needs to be about 3 lengths of your spine. I need a second string, the same length for my closure at the end. So I'll do that now. There we go. Now, there is a pattern to this sewing. So get our needle threaded. Okay, I'm going to pretend I did that on the first try. Now I need a tail long enough to tie a bow with. So I'm going to say about 5 inches. So I'm going to tie a little knot here, so it doesn't slide through my hole once I start sewing. 3 ought to do it. Now I'm going to start sewing from the outside in because I want the little tail sticking out, right? And I want my 2 tails to be coming out of holes. If this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it is, I want my little tails coming out of 3 and 4. So I can tie them here. So I'm going to go up to the 3rd hole. I'm going to poke my needle back through that hole that I made. Okay, so 3, 2, 1. Now you're going to start crossing over. So try not to split your thread with your needle, if you know what I mean. Like aim for open air through that hole. So I'm going to go back through 2. Back through 3, up to 4, 5, 6, and back 5, and pop out at 4, and we're there. So these 2 ends I'm going to tie, and we just have to make our cover. So we're going to look at where our paper is, and just past where these folds are, we're going to make a little crease like that, because I don't want my pages to stick out past my closure. So I've got a little mark there and there, and I'm going to make these folds. If you're looking at your little PDF guide, these would be called your A-line folds here. So get those going. 1 and 2. Okay. On the side that's going to have the flap, we want this little spine. Like on this one, I've written something here. Tony Only Artist Project 2010. That's when I made this book. That's how long I've been making these books. Okay, so I want to make a little tab like that. So I'm going to take one of these flaps. I'm going to go out another maybe ½ inch, less than, however wide you want that little tab, and I'm going to make another fold. There we go. So that's your A line and your B line. And now we're going to take this little bit here and just fold it in half. Okay, perfect. Now we want our other piece of string, our one that's going to go around and tie our journal, to poke through these two holes here. If you're using your template, you can just use holes number 1 and 6, and they'll be in the right spot. We're going to thread this again. Now with our threaded needle, we're going to come from the outside in and out. Get this nice and even. And we're going to tie a knot right here where it goes through. Maybe we'll double that again. 1 and 2. Now we just want to glue this little flap down. You can glue this flap down too, just to make it more sturdy on the end. I kind of like to leave it just open so I can write extra things in there. So I'm going to leave mine open. We close it up, wrap this around, give a little bow. Some fun things you can do are replace this with a piece of elastic that's sized exactly to this, or use different kind of string, or whatever you think up. I'd love to hear about it. There we go, pretty quick and easy, and I've got my journal. Time to go paint. So there we have it. Our journal is all done. All that remains is to open it up, fold out the pages, and fill them up with your adventures. One of the reasons that I made this video is because I'm about to head out on another adventure, teaching at sea, and we're going to be doing this exact project. We're going to be making journals and filling them as we sail around Alaska. So super excited about that. I will show you what I make. If you want to follow along on Instagram, you can do that at Illustrated Vagabond. Don't forget to head to the details and download your copy of the PDF guide for making this booklet. It'll make it super simple. I can't wait to hear what you did with this. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to hit subscribe. I'll be doing lots more things to do with art and adventure, whether it's painting watercolor, making prints plein air, traveling, all the fun stuff. So I look forward to seeing you here next time. Thanks for watching.